Hello everyone, and welcome back to Build Your Own Bounce. Although we're sad that we can't be in the building running our bounce event, we hope this might bring you some of our bounce fun from home. As part of this video, we have another special storytelling show. After our storytelling, we have Kit performing some of his amazing magic tricks. We hope you enjoy the show. We'd love to encourage you to dramatise your favourite storybook, or maybe you can even make up your own story. Maybe you could also learn a magic trick. There is the Build Your Own Bounce pack to download in the description below or on the Bounce webpage, which has our treasure hunt, some printable crafts, and our timetable for the morning, along with our challenge. Today's challenge is Would You Rather? You might like to do today's activities outside or just in your home. Maybe you can have a little picnic with some friends and play some board games with them too. We'd love to see some of your photos from today. So if you make any crafts, create a story, build your own puppet show, or play any games, maybe your parents or carers could send those in to me by email. We can include your photos in the next Bounce video if adults at home are okay with that. We really hope you enjoy your day. If you would like to receive our craft pack through the post but missed out this time, please let me know by email so we can make sure there are more packs next month. And do make sure you sign up for our next Build Your Own Bounce on November 7th. If you would like to stay up to date with the latest news on our children's groups and events, you can join our mailing list by emailing me. Lots of love from all the Bounce team.
Once there was a little girl named Lucy. Lucy loved her grandpa. Every day, Grandpa would come over to Lucy's house and they would spend so much time together. They'd sit together and watch out the window as things passed by. Every day they'd spot the same cheeky bird that would fly past the window and sneak onto the bird table. Sometimes Lucy and Grandpa would go out walking. Grandpa was very clever and he could tell Lucy the names of all different sorts of plants, flowers and trees and all the different animals that they would see. Lucy and Grandpa spent hours together. They would play games, they would sing songs, they would visit the zoo, they'd go to the cinema. They had the best time together. But one day, when Lucy got up, Grandpa didn't come over. He phoned on the telephone and told Lucy's mum that he wouldn't be over that day because of the big lockdown around the country. Grandpa and Lucy weren't allowed to spend their days together. Lucy was so very sad. She sat at the window and tried to remember all of the things that Grandpa had told her. She spotted the little bird and she watched as the rain fell down the window, but she couldn't remember all the different trees and plants that Grandpa knew. She knew he was so very, very clever and missed him so very much. Lucy tried phoning Grandpa to speak to him on the phone, but she missed him so much that she just wanted to go for a big, long walk with him. One day, Grandpa was telling her all about the stars and the moon, the sky and the night time, and the people that have been up on top of the moon. Lucy loved this story, loved hearing all the different facts that Grandpa knew. It made her miss him more, but it helped her learn, and she was excited by all the new things that she knew. When Grandpa came up with a new idea, Grandpa said, what if they phoned each other just before bedtime? Lucy loved this idea and couldn't wait every night to phone Grandpa. One night, he told Lucy to go to the window and look out at the sky. Lucy stood at the window looking out. She could see black, navy, all the trees, but she couldn't see very much. Then Grandpa told her to look up, to look and find some stars. Lucy could see lots of little shining stars. And Grandpa told her, at night time we're all covered by the same big blanket. It has shiny little stars on it for us all to see. He said it was the same blanket that covered him, that covered little Lucy. Every night, if we look up, we're looking at the same blanket and we are under it together, going to sleep safely and soundly every night. Lucy was so excited that every night Lucy and Grandpa would phone each other, stare out the window, and Grandpa would say, "How many stars do you see, Lucy?" And she would count 5, 7, 12. However many stars Lucy could see, Grandpa could see the same. They would speak on the telephone, stare at the stars, and say, "Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Lucy." And they would go to sleep, thinking of each other and dreaming of the stars.
Well, hello once again, boys and girls, and a very warm welcome to you to our special Bounce Magic show. And a welcome too to mums and dads who may be watching, and perhaps to some older brothers and sisters. Perhaps you used to come to Bounce when you were smaller. It's nice to see you. And the first thing that we have to do is to get you all to say together the Bounce Magic word. Because unless we get that right, the magic may not actually work. So I'm going to wave my magic wand. I'm going to count to 3. When I get to 3, we'll all say woofle puffle together. And once you've learned it, then you'll be ready to say it during the show, and we'll see if we can get the magic to work. So counting to 3, 1, 2, 3, woofle puffle. Well done. I can almost hear it from here. So we're ready to go with some magic. And the first thing I want to do is to show you a little green hanky. It's green on the front and it's green on the back. Green on both sides. Nothing in the hanky. Nothing in that hand. Okay, an empty hand, and nothing in that hand either. Just a green hanky which I'm going to poke into my fist. I'm going to poke it in a little way, and then we're going to say the magic word. So are you ready? Woofle puffle. Well done. Let's see what happens to the green hanky when I poke it into my fist. It comes out red. Absolutely amazing. We'll poke it down inside, and it really does look as if the magic word woofle puffle actually works. There's the red hanky, and of course there's nothing left in my hand. Watch again and we'll try it with the red hanky and see how it goes. Here's a red hanky, and it's red on that side and it's red on that side. Nothing in the red hanky. Nothing in that hand and nothing in that hand. So 2 empty hands, a red hanky, and in goes the red hanky into my fist. I think we'll use the magic wand this time. Give it a little wave while you say woofle puffle. So on the count of 3, over my fist, 1, 2, 3, woofle puffle. There we go. Absolutely brilliant. Let's see what's happened to the red hanky. It's changed back to green. Absolutely amazing. And if we just take the magic wand and give a little woofle puffle over the green hanky, what we'll see is that there's nothing left in that hand. Just a green hanky. Green on both sides, nothing in the hanky, and nothing in either hand. Now, some people have told me they think they know how that trick is done. They say to me, you've got a sort of green-red bag. It's green on the outside, red on the inside, and when you poke it into your fist, all you do is turn it inside out. So let's have a look and see what happens if I poke the green hanky into my fist for one last time. in it goes. Here's the magic wand. All together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wuffle, puffle. Well done. And the green hanky has changed into a yellow one. So there really is magic at work. And it looks to me as if Wuffle Puffle is working today for us as well. So there's the yellow hanky. Nothing else in the yellow hanky. Nothing in that hand. Nothing in that hand. Just a yellow hanky. So that's our first trick, and it shows to us that Wuffle Puffle actually works. And we're going to need Wuffle Puffle for the next trick, for which I'm going to show you a block, a brass rod, and a special tower made out of wood. Here's the block. It's a solid block of wood. You can have a look at it. It's got 2 red sides, 2 green sides, and it's got a hole through the middle. And you can probably see, if I look through the middle, you can see where the hole is. And the hole is just big enough to push this solid brass rod right through like that. When I put the brass rod through, I can turn the block round on the brass rod like that, but there's no way that that block can get off the brass rod unless I take a hand away and tip it off the end. Because solid things don't go through solid things. If they did, when I banged this on the table, it would go right through. If solid things did go through solid things, when you got into bed at night, you'd fall straight through the mattress. Things don't go through each other. Unless, of course, you use a magic word. So let me show you the special wooden tower. It's a tower with holes in it. You can see I can put the rod through a large hole there. There's a hole at the bottom and I can push the rod through there. There's a small hole here and I can push the rod through there like that. And there's nothing inside the wooden tower. Just room for our coloured block to go. So what I'm going to do is to take the coloured block and I'm going to drop it into the tower. You can watch it go down and you'll see it nestle at the bottom of the tower when I put it in. So here's the block, here's the tower, down it goes, and there's the block in the bottom of the tower. Now, I can capture the block in the tower by pushing the brass rod through the box, through the block, and out the other side. Can you see that? I'll hold it against the wall so you can see that the rod goes right the way through both the box and the block. And if I turn the tower upside down like that, the block is held at the top by the rod going right the way through. It can't fall down because things that are solid don't pass through each other. We all know that, unless you say the magic word. Now watch very carefully, because I'm going to get you to say Wuffle Puffle, and we'll see what happens to the block that's trapped inside this tower. So are you ready to say Wuffle Puffle? Okay, we're going to leave the brass rod where it is. You can see the block caught at the top. When I say 3, we'll all say Wuffle Puffle together. 1, 2, 3. Wuffle Puffle. And let's see if the magic works. Watch my hand. And there's the block. Let me show it to you. It's exactly the same as before. Green, yellow and red on each side. There's the steel brass rod going right the way through the tower. And of course, there's nothing left inside the tower. So what we've done is caused a solid block to go right through a brass rod. And we did it by magic. Now sometimes people ask me if it's easy to do magic. And I say, well, it's easy enough if you've got the right things. So first of all, you need a top hat. Here's my top hat. It almost fits, not quite. I look rather smart in it, I think. but I'm going to use it for this next magic trick. You of course need a magic wand, and I've got a magic wand here. So here's the magic wand, top hat, a magic wand all ready to go, and of course you need the magic word. So people ask me and they say, well, is magic really easy? And I say, well, it's as easy as A, B, C. And here I've got 3 blocks of wood, one with A on, one with B on, one with C on. The letters A, B and curly K. And here is a wooden box with A, B and C on as well. A at the top, C at the bottom. It's got A, B and C on both sides, A, B, C. And if I look through the wooden box, you can see that there's nothing inside it, just me at the other end, and I can see you at the other end out there watching the show. So here's an empty box of wood, and this box of wood fits neatly over the blocks on this stand. Now, if I weren't a magician and I wanted to send the block with the letter A on it from that tower to the hat over here, what would I do? I'd just pick it up like that, carry it across and pop it in the hat. And there it goes. That's not very magic, is it? And if I wanted it to go back again, I would lift it out from the hat. I'd carry it across. I'd put it on the tower like that. And I've caused the block to go back from the hat to the tower. That's not very magic either, is it? But what if we tried to cause one of the blocks to go from the tower to the hat by magic? That would be very interesting indeed. Let's give that a try. First thing we have to do is to cover up the blocks with the wooden tower there. And now they're all covered up. What I'm going to do is to try and make the C block at the bottom, there it is, go from there to the hat. And to help me, I've got a special whistle, because the C block listens to the whistle. When it hears the whistle, it jumps from the box here to the hat over here. Let's have a look and see if we can get that to work. But first of all, we need to get some magic going. So when I count to 3, we'll all do Wuffle Puffle again. And I'm going to say Wuffle Puffle over the blocks in the wooden tower here. So all together, 1, 2, 3, Wuffle Puffle. And let's blow the whistle. Wonderful. And now the C block is inside the hat. Did you see it go? You didn't. You didn't see it go. Ah. I'll tell you what, I'll send it back from slightly further away to give you a chance to see it go. So the C block, which is in the hat, is going to go back to the tower, and if you're very careful, you might be able to see it go. Keep an eye on it. Are you ready? And the C block, which was in the hat, is now back in the tower. Should we have a little look to see? There it is, safely in its place in the bottom of the tower. You don't look very convinced. You don't think it went at all. It didn't move. You think it stayed there all the time and didn't get into the hat. Ah. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it one more time with the most difficult block of all, and that's the B block in the middle. We've done the A block, and you've all seen it go. We've done the C block, and you didn't see it go. We'll do the B block. Watch very carefully and see if you can spot it flying across the room. So we'll get the magic whistle again. I'm going to play it slightly differently because this is a different tune for the B block, and we'll see if we can get the B block to land in the top hat. Watch very carefully. And the B block is now inside the top hat. Yes, it is. I've just magicked it across. It's gone from there to there by magic. Did you see it go? No, it's really in the top hat. It is in the top hat. You don't think it is in the top hat. You think it's still there. You think I'm hiding it in there. No, it's in the top hat. I'll tell you, if it's in the top hat, I will have a special goodie for lunch. And if it's not in the top hat, you can go to the fridge and choose anything you like for your dessert. How about that? You still don't think it's in the top hat. Well, the first thing to do is to have a look over here and see if it's in the tower. There's the A block and the C block, but there is no sign of the B block. We have A and C, but no B. So where could the B be? Where could the B be indeed? The BB is in the top hat, and there it is. And it travelled there from this side to that side by magic. But perhaps if you hadn't said woofle poofle, the magic might not have worked. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and perhaps there'll be some more bounce magic next time you do Bounce Online in a month's time. But for the moment, thank you very much and goodbye.